If you have ever found yourself procrastinating, start here. My action plan for procrastination, or MAPP, is your personalized action plan. MAPP uses evidence-based science, proven pro tips, and brain boosters for overcoming procrastination. MAPP will help you get started, stay focused, and keep learning. This video presents MAPP 2, Stay Focused. Most of us who procrastinate are usually quite motivated and don't have issues with time management. Then, we inevitably take a class we don't like or that's more difficult than any class we've taken before, and we lose our focus. And no amount of effort or willpower can stop us from wanting to give in to feel good, even if feeling good turns into trying to feel less guilty for procrastinating. Evidence-based science found students who procrastinated weren't off having fun, but were instead doing household chores or other homework to relieve their guilt for putting off what they should be doing. Yet, the relief is still so great that it's like a reward for procrastination, and rewarded behavior is often repeated behavior. So procrastination can become a hard habit to break. Use MAPP 2 to break the habit of procrastination. To start, take your future self into consideration. Tabelet's research linked procrastination to a lack of concern for our future self, and Pitchell's research linked procrastination to the belief that our future self will be stronger, more focused, or have more willpower than our present self, which is not usually the case. He advises us to muster up the will today to act on our intentions so as not to burden our future self. And Tabelet also advises us to have empathy for our future self. But how? Start here with MAPP 2. As you plan your studies, also plan for stops. Whenever the mind is focused for long stretches, whether that focus is on the road, on work, or on our studies, the brain needs breaks. On road trips, we stop to stretch, relax, refuel, and take care of our personal needs. Even after a 5 or 10-minute stop, we can return to the road refreshed and ready. The key here is not to just stop whenever the road gets rough, but as a regular routine, so even when the road is clear, and you will be much better able to keep your focus. Evidence-based science on how the brain learns found that to solve problems and think creatively, the brain needs time in a focused mode and time in an unfocused or diffuse mode. In the focused mode, you read, write, observe, and think. You supply the brain new information. In the focused mode, this new learning follows the patterns in the brain that are there from previous learning, using existing ideas to make sense of the new learning. Then, in the diffuse mode, the new learning travels away from existing patterns to create new pathways in the brain, forming new connections, leading to new ways of thinking and new ideas. In the diffuse mode, you take that much-needed break and relax, meditate, go for a walk, have a cool glass of water or healthy snack. These stress-reducing activities go hand in hand with learning, so you are getting some of the relief that procrastination brings without getting off track. Using MAPP 2 means planning for focused time and diffuse time when you do your coursework. The Pomodoro technique is especially effective for this. When you begin your task, set a timer for 25 minutes and minimize distractions. Next, focus on your work without interruption for 25 minutes. Then, at the end of the 25 minutes, reward yourself by checking that activity off your strategic plan for the day and relaxing. Repeat the Pomodoro method as many times as needed to complete your work, and after 4 25-minute sessions with short breaks in between, take a longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. Here's a tip. When you schedule a number of Pomodoro sessions in a row, rather than work on the same task during each session, interleave 2 or 3 tasks to increase learning. Here's what I mean. If you plan to study for 3 hours, comprised of 6 25-minute study sessions, and you have 3 tasks to work on, instead of spending the first 2 sessions doing one task, your next 2 sessions doing another, and your final 2 sessions doing the last, interleave them so you can work on a different task during each session. First, work on one, then another, and the other, and then go back to the first and repeat. Evidence-based science on how the brain learns shows that along with the spaced repetition of practicing something repeatedly in spaced sessions, interleaving promotes long-term learning. When using MAPP 2, try these brain boosters. Exercise is a diffuse mode activity that is very conducive to learning. Even going for a short walk enhances the brain's ability to learn and remember. Changes of scenery by first studying in one room and then moving to another room or even outdoors to study also improves the brain's ability to concentrate and retain what you have learned.